A lot of key players are in this set of pictures. This is Congresswoman Watson, Congressman Burton, our two champions in Congress. This is our international director and California director wearing two hats, Anita Vasquez-Tibao, and Freya Koss, of course, the champion of the Philadelphia fact sheet law. Here again is Congresswoman Watson, surrounded by many of her supporters and friends, as leading a congressional hearing. Professor Haley, University of Kentucky, the really lead scientist in this movement, and the president of Consumers for Dental Choice, Sandy Duffy of Portland, Oregon, a lawyer and the one that brought the gag rule to screeching halt through in several states through bringing in the American Civil Liberties Union, as well as a number of other achievements. We have here a picture from Connecticut. Here's an outstanding man, Dr. Mark Mitchell. Mark is the head of the Connecticut Coalition for Environmental Justice. He's a physician. He gave up a lucrative career to be a nonprofit advocate and focuses heavily on the disproportionate environmental impact of pollution and other environmental toxins in minority and inner city communities. And he is the advocate showing how much environmental injustices occur to the urban poor. Attorney General Dick Blumenthal of Connecticut is a candidate, and probably the winning candidate for the U.S. Senate from Connecticut this year, likely to be U.S. Senator. Very ambitious Attorney General who has been on our side when the wind's blowing that way. This is State Senator Karen Johnson, who is on our side no matter where the wind is blowing. She is a great advocate, a constitutionalist, which some would call a conservative. She feels she stands with the Constitution. Dr. Ron King was also a dental board member in Minnesota, one of the earliest board. In fact, Ron was on the dental board, the only one, and I said, Ron, someday it will be the Mercury-Free Dentist Caucus on dental boards. You will be part of a caucus, and darn if I wasn't right when you added Yokoyama and Kevin Biggers, and you added Jessica Sapoff in Washington State. This is the great Michael Bender, maybe the most important player in this movement because he runs the Environmental Policy Project. He is an international player, famous internationally, goes to all the treaty negotiations, will be in Stockholm. I have the pleasure of joining him in Stockholm this year. And he has been the one trying to negotiate an end to amalgam worldwide, and into all mercury worldwide. For example, he was involved in the work to shut down the last remaining mercury mine in Europe, the one in Spain that's been spewing out mercury for 150 years and may have been connected to the beginning of mercury itself, according to Mary Puff. With my reading inabilities here, two deceased leaders of this movement. I want to close on them because they're just so. Let me first give you Carol Ward here, the vice president of dental amalgam mercury syndrome from Philly, and just the vice president for years and the field director. My secretary, Barbara Pearson, for many years until she moved to North Carolina, and Richard Butcher, the authority on Capitol Hill for mercury fillings. Harvard, there's a Harvard good guy, Harvard. I forgot about that. He was incredible, prodigious worker, and one that organized all these hearings against mercury amalgam. Here's our British doctor, John. What's his name, Freya? John from Britain. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Dr. John. Here's it. He's
John Roberts.
John Roberts. Thank you. Yeah, you know. I'm learning them. Anyway, closing here. Myrna Brend was in Philadelphia, close friend of Freya Koss's, and a great advocate. Helped fund this movement early. She and her husband have a foundation. She tragically died of cancer, but not before getting our website going. And she funded our organization, and Freya in turn took over, and I didn't even know how to spell website, but we got ourselves a website early on. Lydia Bronte, she had an incredible career. She wrote a book on amalgam poisoning. Didn't put her name on it because she thought she'd be dead by the time it came out, and thought it would sell better without a dead person's name on it. Despite that, she lived several more years, recovered, and then died of cancer.